Welcome back, honey. Do you want dinner? Or a bath? Or a one-way trip to an isekai plot? Haha, I'm kidding. Or maybe not. Let's start with the first story. Am I the jerk for ignoring my wife for throwing away my late wife's videotapes? I am writing this because I don't know what to do. I have a daughter with my late wife and her name is Leia. Her birthday is coming up in 2 weeks and she's turning 18. Background: me and my late wife, Chloe, has been dating since college. We got older and ended up getting married. And after our wedding, she shared news to me that she was pregnant and I was excited that we were expecting our first child. Since it was our first child, we bought a video camera and made little tapes and snippets of her whole pregnancy. Wholesome things such as us just joking around or having lunch or talking to our unborn child through the camera. We made a promise to only show Leia the tapes until her 18th birthday. Fast forward 2 years after her birth, Chloe passed away due to a drunk driver crashing into her car as she was coming home from her mother's house. I was devastated of her passing and went into a deep depression and having to raise our 2-year-old daughter by myself. My friends tried to get me to go out and start dating again, but every time I did, I felt like I was betraying her. Years later, when Leia was 13, I met Wendy. We met at a gathering for my sister's birthday and we instantly hit it off. She didn't mind that I had a daughter because she had 2 kids herself and just went through a divorce 2 years after we got married. Now back to the present. Leia's 18th birthday is coming up, and I kept all the tapes for me to show her. Mind you, her mother died when she was just 2, so Leia doesn't remember her touch or her voice. I was excited to show her the tapes, and a week ago I was talking to Wendy about it and I noticed her expression going from happy to looking a bit uncomfortable. Wendy would always get uncomfortable when I talk about my late wife. I don't say things like, "Why can't you be like Chloe?" or "Chloe was only supposed to be my first love." But I talk about her in a way to give my daughter a mental picture of how her mother was like. Wendy has always talked to me about Chloe and how it made her sad that she can never be like her. Chloe was a model, then started working on her fashion career. And don't get me wrong, she was a really beautiful woman, while Wendy had 2 kids in college and not in the best shape due to her words. I love both women how they are and I've never had a preference, but I feel like Wendy is gaining some jealousy towards Chloe. I told Wendy that I love her just the way she was and she broke down crying. The next day, after that incident, she came up to me and apologized for the way she acted last night. I told her it was okay and it's good that she felt comfortable to share her feelings. And I gave her a tight hug and a kiss on her forehead. She asked to see where the tapes were at and I showed her the box of videotapes of my late wife in my closet. Things were going fine until yesterday morning. I was looking for the tapes because I wanted to put them in a prettier box for my daughter, and when I went to go find them, the box wasn't in my closet. I looked everywhere to the point I walked downstairs to see my wife laying on the couch watching TV. I asked her about the box and she told me she threw it away with a neutral expression. My heart dropped and I asked her what did she mean. And she told me that I talk about her too much and that I need to move on with my life, so she threw them away as a quote-unquote head start. I was fuming with anger because not only she threw away what I had left of her, she threw away my daughter's big surprise. We quickly got into an argument and she noticed how angry I was, so she started apologizing. It got to the point I started crying and locked myself in our bedroom. It's the morning, and I'm writing this in my office, going through my computer finding old files or any type of video of my late wife to give it to my daughter. Because sometimes my daughter still cries that she never got to meet her mother, and I really thought it would bring her closer to her. I've been ignoring my wife for the past day and she's been texting me nonstop about how sorry she is. But I really just can't look at her right now. It's getting to the point our mutual friends are texting me to accept her apology and get over it since Chloe died over 10 years ago. But I'm trying to ignore them all because they never had someone so close to them died. I am working on finding these files and I'm starting to think I was overreacting. I don't know what to do and I really need help. She did what? Let's see what our commenters are saying about this. Reddit user Altruistic You says, "Dear Lord, I am honestly not one to advocate for divorce, but I do not think I could continue a relationship with someone who did something so wildly despicable. That isn't jealousy. That's a mental disorder. She stole the only vestiges of your wife that your daughter will have. This is not something you come back from or she can apologize for. This is a line in the sand. Reddit user Western Fuzzy says, I doubt she's even sorry. Just sorry for herself that OP is ignoring her. It was all premeditated. Wendy needs a doctor and divorce papers. Reddit user Just Me Double B says, I believe this was premeditated given her asking where the box was. She, in essence, just killed your daughter's mother for a second time. Truly nasty, and she needs serious mental health. Reddit user Green Lady Fox says, 100% she planned to toss them. She stole memories from her husband and the daughter. Divorce is what I would do. Reddit user Alone Lincolnberry says, right. From. Is. Child. My daughter lost her dad way too young. If anyone was to sabotage the remaining connections she has to him, things would get ugly real fast. We weren't even together at the time. This is horrific behavior. And for what? Reddit user Celeste Cherries says, I completely get why you'd feel that way. Wendy clearly didn't just make a mistake. She made a conscious decision to erase something irreplaceable. Not just for you, but for your daughter too. That kind of betrayal is huge, and honestly, I'd be thinking about whether I could ever trust her again either. If she can do that, what else might she try to take away in the future? Divorce might be the only way forward if this is how she's showing her true colors. Reddit user Original Stretch says, this isn't even a mental disorder. This is cruelty. Her terrible behavior doesn't even deserve an excuse. She threw away the only physical memories that this girl would ever have of her mother. Ever. Because she's jealous of a ghost. Original poster, get divorced. Leave. For your daughter. Because this will never stop. She isn't sorry. She's sorry you're upset and that you're mad at her. Leave her. Reddit user, Foolish Pleasure says, frankly, I'm with you. I think the original poster should tell his current wife to do whatever she can to recover those tapes before the daughter's 18th birthday or you're done. That act was completely unconscionable, and there is only one way to make it right. Reddit user Reasonable Rush says, this is beyond jealousy. It's outright cruelty. She didn't just cross a line, she destroyed something irreplaceable. Some things can't be undone or forgiven, and this feels like one of them. Reddit user Disastrous Panda says, and she was plotting the whole time he was telling her how he planned this for his daughter's birthday. That is the only reason she asked him where he keeps the tape. This is downright cruel as hell. I can't even imagine how his daughter will feel about this. This is something you can't come back from. Reddit user PM Meerkats says, you're absolutely right. It seems like Wendy was being manipulative and calculating in asking about the tapes, especially after hearing how much they meant to you and your daughter. That's a whole new level of cruelty. I can't even imagine how your daughter is going to feel when she finds out her mother's memory was treated this way. It's the kind of thing that's really hard to come back from, and it's totally understandable if you feel like this betrayal is beyond repair. This is outrageous. Sir, you need to contact a lawyer ASAP. She destroyed an irreplaceable item and, most importantly, a record of your precious memories. It is nothing but an evil act out of jealousy. I bet she never experienced losing someone so close to her before. But that looks like it will happen soon. I feel bad for the daughter. It was supposed to be the last records of her late mother and was planned to be given to her on her special day. I can't imagine how angry I would be if that happened to me. Original poster, it's time to take action. I bid you good luck. Next story. Hee hee. I always wanted to try that. Am I the jerk for making my coworker a separate meal after she insulted my cooking? I work in a small office where we do a potluck-style lunch once a week. I love cooking, so I usually bring something homemade. For context, I am Thai, and a lot of what I make has strong flavors like garlic, fermented fish sauce, chili, shrimp paste, that kind of thing. Most of my coworkers love it. Kate, though, has always been weird about it. She's made little comments before, like, wow, that's pungent. Or, your food is so intense. Once, when I brought in some tam green papaya salad, she wrinkled her nose and said, ugh, why does it smell like that? Like, it smells like lime and chili? Sorry, it's not a turkey sandwich, Kate. The worst was when she asked me if I grew up eating bugs. I kind of laughed it off because I was so caught off guard. But she kept going, talking about how she saw a documentary about Thai people eating crickets and how it must be normal for me. I told her, as evenly as I could, that yes, some people eat insects, but it's not like I was raised munching on tarantulas for breakfast. She got all flustered and said she didn't mean it like that. Anyway, last month I made khao soi for the potluck, a northern Thai curry noodle soup. Everyone seemed to love it, except Kate, who took one bite, made a face, and said, "Oh, this is strong." Then she laughed like it was a joke, but she barely touched her bowl. Later, I overheard her telling someone it was too much spice and too many smells at once. So a few weeks later, when it was my turn to cook again, I made my usual dish plus a plain grilled chicken breast with some steamed veggies and a little cup of ranch dressing. No seasoning, no strong smells, etc. I left a note for Kate since I know she prefers something simple. She was pissed, said I was singling her out and making her look bad. I told her I was just trying to be accommodating, the way she seemed to want. Some coworkers thought it was hilarious, others said I was being passive-aggressive. Honestly, maybe I was. Am I the jerk? My programmer's Asian blood is boiling. Now on to the comments. Reddit user Helen the Bug Lady says, I would have given her a PB&J sandwich and said, I know you don't like anything ethnic. And when she said she felt singled out, well yes, no one else makes comments, only you. Reddit user R2Face says, just straight up hand her an Uncrustable. Lol. Reddit user Kendall says, honestly, if I were her I'd be perfectly happy with this and preferably still frozen. I love those things. But I'm also a little weird about food, and I'm not sure I'd eat a lot of the foods OP brought in either. The difference is that I would never make comments like she did, and if asked why I'm not partaking, I'd just say that I have food and texture issues, but I appreciate all the work OP put into their food. Reddit user Haley Sky Diamond says, when I worked in a girl's home, we had to make them sit down with food on their plate 3 times a day. If they refused what was on the menu, they could have a PB&J. Not a terrible option. My 75-year-old dad who smokes a pack of cigars a day has burned out his taste buds and wonders why nothing tastes good. I am to the point of just offering him PBJs too. Reddit user No Shock says, I'd say not the jerk. If someone is going to keep insulting your food, then you don't need to keep preparing it for them. Kate wanted to be a jerk and got served. I'm 100% here for it. Good for you. Reddit user Constantly Curious says, this is the level of petty that Kate deserves. Keep cooking those delicious Thai plates. I wish I worked with you. Reddit user Pretty Goblin says, Kate needs a reality check. I can feel the microaggressions through the phone and I'm white. I think you handled it perfectly. Not the jerk. Kate sucks. I think a Happy Meal should be next since she wants to be childish. Girl, oh girl, where do I even start? It sounds a little bit discriminating for her to act like that and assume he eats bugs. She complains about the Thai food every single time he brings some. I want to know if she does the same thing with other Asian food. And when she gets served a food she would rather have, she gets angry. Original poster, keep it up. If she complains about your food, then she gets what you want. Make her realize that you are just catering to her needs. And if she feels like being singled out, that is on her. Either she eat the Thai food without complaint or get served a grilled cheese sandwich or something. Or even go as far as get her like some takeout from somewhere else or,
Hiya.
Who are you?
Why so weak? Just a little spice and lime. You cry like your president lost the elections. I bet you eat mashed potatoes with a literal pinch of salt and still think too salty.
Okay. Next story. I'll never get tired of this. Am I the jerk for telling my boss that I wasn't invited to the party? By Reddit user Farpay. I, 26F, just started at a new job. I quickly realized that one of my colleagues, Marie, is engaged and is getting married within the next 2 months. It seemed like the whole office was attending the wedding. I absolutely did not expect an invite. She just met me, weddings are planned in advance, venues booked, etc. My friend actually just got married, so I saw firsthand how it all worked. I could tell Marie wondered if I was expecting an invitation and was hesitant to bring up the wedding around me, but I just never made it a big deal. I don't feel left out in the slightest. Then, I got CC'd on an email from someone at the office, Joan, throwing Marie a shower during our lunch hour in the break room in a couple of weeks. Joan was sending out a collection so we could give a group gift, cash, to Marie. They also suggested we make it a potluck. Joan included her Venmo and also asked we email back with what we planned on bringing. Even if I'm not going to the wedding, I still believe everyone deserves to be celebrated and Venmoed the $20, as well as sent a reply saying I'd bring lasagna. A little later, I saw the $20 had been returned to my Venmo and Joan approached my desk. She said I didn't need to contribute. I said even if I'm not attending the wedding, I'd still like to give Marie a little something. Joan looked a little awkward and hemmed and hawed, but then eventually said you're not invited to the shower. I was confused. I said I can't go in the company break room on lunch hour? She said yes. I asked where am I supposed to go? I don't drive, I take public transit to from work. We don't really work near anywhere I could go to quickly for our lunch hour. She said I could stay at my desk. I pointed out this was a little exclusionary. Joan said Marie didn't want me to assume I was invited to the wedding. I said I don't at all. I completely understand I haven't worked here long and we're not close enough. I'm not hurt by that. She said that's great, but I still can't come. I asked if I had done anything to offend Marie and she said no. She just doesn't want me getting my hopes up. I finally let it go and just said fine, have a good party. The day of the shower, I sat at my desk during the party while everyone else went, eating my lunch alone. One kind person snuck me a piece of cake. Halfway through the party, the big boss came in. She usually doesn't work on Fridays, so it was a surprise to see her. She saw me sitting at my desk and asked why I wasn't at the party. I told her I hadn't been invited. She was clearly perturbed by this. Later on, she sent an email out banning parties of any kind during work hours. A few people, Joan and Marie included, realize I'm the one who told. They've now turned on me. Some friends say I'm in the wrong here and that I should have lied to the big boss and said I was busy with work to finish or something, so as not to ruin it for everyone else. Am I the jerk? This sounds like a small problem blown up to proportions. Let's see the comments. Reddit user, NYC Storyteller says, not the jerk. They're the ones who messed around and did an exclusionary thing. You didn't tattle on them to the big boss. The boss asked you why you were sitting at your desk and weren't at the party, you explained. All Marie had to do was be a gracious person and include you in the office gathering. You were fine with a $20 contribution and lasagna, and she didn't have to be weird about you not going to the wedding. Joan and Marie are the jerks here. Reddit user Armadillo of Doom says, not the jerk. They used company resources and excluded someone in the company. I'm sure that's against HR policy. They didn't quote-unquote not invite you, they deliberately blocked you from going and told you to stay at your desk. They deserved what they got. Time to grey rock them. Tell them, sorry, boss asked me a direct question and I assumed you were going to tell her the truth, so I wasn't going to lie and possibly get in trouble. Marie and Joan are mean girls. Period. Document any retaliation ASAP. Reddit user, Childhood Reviver says, your boss was angry and banned office parties probably because she is trying to prevent a hostile work environment. Which is precisely what is happening now that the others are starting to harass you in retaliation. Please document everything and report it to your boss and HR. Reddit user, a girl called Pearl says, not the jerk. Here, let me cook you up a template. Subject, concern regarding exclusion from office event. Dear, insert HR representative's name here. I am writing to bring a matter to your attention regarding a recent office event, specifically the bridal shower for Marie that took place on. Insert the date of shower. I was informed about the shower through an email from Joan, which included a request for contributions and a potluck. I contributed $20 to the gift fund and offered to bring food. However, Joan later approached me and informed me that I was not invited to the event. She explained that I was not allowed to attend the shower in the break room during lunch hour and suggested I remain at my desk instead. I attempted to clarify the situation with Joan, asking if I had done anything to offend Marie, and was assured that I had not. Joan stated that Marie simply did not want me to quote-unquote get my hopes about the wedding. On the day of the event, I remained at my desk while the rest of the office attended the shower. Insert big boss name later approached me, surprised that I was not attending, and I explained that I had not been invited. Afterward, insert big boss name sent an email banning parties during work hours. Since these events, I have noticed some tension with my colleagues, and I wanted to raise this concern with HR to understand how best to handle the situation moving forward. Please let me know if we can discuss this further. Best regards, insert your name here. Reddit user, square digit added. I think adding in that they returned your gift money is the only other item needed in this, so it doesn't seem as if you are framing it in any way. Just the facts including that. I feel sorry for the original poster. She was just minding her own business and just complying to her coworkers' selfishness. They did not even care about your lunchtime too, even after you explained your situation. From the looks of this, you will probably be facing prejudice from the perpetrators and will continue to blame you in the future. I don't think they would even be willing to listen to your side. Keep records and document the things they say and will do to you. Stay strong, original poster. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I had. Subscribe for more stories and what other people say about it. Oh, and tell me your thoughts on the comment section below. Come again and visit me next time, okay? Have an amazing rest of your day.